US soccer rigged the World Cup and still lost. I mean, the World Cup ended, Spain won, but I just want to see what this guy has to talk about. Because the US, bro, I mean, that last game that they played before they got eliminated, that was kind of questionable what some
For the
plays
2026
were.
World Cup, the US were put in a group with Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey. The Stars and Stripes kicked off their World Cup campaign dismantling Paraguay with these 4-1. They then continued their winning ways, beating the rage-baited Aussies 2-0. And with Turkey losing to Paraguay, it meant the Americans had won their World Cup group for the first time since 2010. A wonderful start to the tournament.
That's crazy.
The US would lose their last group game versus Turkey, but to be fair, they made about 9 changes, so it really wasn't that much of a worry. But now things get more serious. The knockout stages. And the United States' first opponents would be Bosnia. It had been basically an eternity since the last time the US had been a European side, but in the end...
Honestly, I have barely even seen the US in any tournaments
they managed to scratch by with a
soccer
win. Unfortunately, though, Fuller and Balogun had picked up a straight red in the game and would be suspended for the US's next fixture versus Belgium. However, the decision to send off Balogun was quite controversial. Many argued that he didn't even deserve the red in the first place. What I do find very interesting, though, is that this is considered a red,
oh my God,
while Messi's challenge versus Algeria isn't? Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Either way, though, this was a massive hit to the US's momentum, especially with Fuller and Balogun being our top scorer with 3 goals, including 1 in the game versus Bosnia. This suspension could at least be appealed, though, right? No. FIFA doesn't allow appeals for stray reds. However, there is one alternative solution. Yowie. Throughout this year, we have covered Donald Trump and Gianni Infantino's toxic love story in quite a lot of depth. But for anyone new, to give you the rundown, Gianni Infantino has been doing Cirque du Soleil tricks on it. And the way he's been using his mouth, Nancy Reagan would be starstruck. He once was willing to change the host cities for Donald Trump. Gianni allowed him to be in the middle of the Club World Cup celebrations. And he's also now said that Donald Trump can lift the World Cup trophy. And of course, there was that time Gianni gave him the FIFA Peace Prize Award. So when Trump heard about the Balogun red card, he immediately called Gianni, and just like that, Fuller and Balogun's suspension was moved to after the tournament, and he'd be available for the next match. Wait, hold on. Isn't this blatant government interference? You know, the thing FIFA has banned other federations
I feel
for.
like that shouldn't be allowed,
Donald Trump confirmed that it was most definitely him that was behind this, and while this was not good at all, I can't even lie, the press conference was so stupid it was hilarious.
So I saw the play, and I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players, a very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. And you know what? If they beat us, then they can be really proud. The other way, if they beat us, we'll say I say it was rigged, just like the election was rigged. I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden. Biden was asleep.
Belgium were very angry about this decision, though, and rightfully so. I mean, the US government and FIFA had just partook in the most blatant corruption ever. In response, the Belgian FA filed an appeal, which was quickly denied without any actual explanation. Infantino then came out with his own statement, and it was genuinely laughable. He claimed that FIFA's judicial bodies were independent, and the very next paragraph confirmed that Donald did in fact call him, and Gianni said there was an ongoing legal process, which makes no sense because you cannot appeal a straight red card. So why the fuck would the judicial bodies be looking into something that can't even happen according to their own rules?
They edited Trump out of the pictures of Spain lifting the trophy. Actually, yeah.
When it came to the reaction from the public, most people weren't okay with this. I mean, it's corruption. It's interference. This shouldn't be allowed. But some Americans were trying to paint themselves as victims of anti-Americanism, using Cristiano Ronaldo. See, before the tournament even started, Ronaldo got a red card in Portugal's second to last qualifier, which would have meant he'd be suspended for the first 2 games of the World Cup. FIFA, however, decided to waive that suspension in order for Ronaldo to play the first 2 games. But this argument doesn't work because people were also mad about this decision. To be fair, though, the people using this argument probably started watching the sport like 3 weeks ago, so,
that is true,
I don't blame them. Here's the thing, though. Whether you believe it was a red or not, that no longer matters in the grand scheme.
I took a nap listening to Roli's voice. Best nap for real. He sounds like mommy ASMR.
Because the US government interfered with the tournament, It undermined the sanctity of this sport. As the host, no less. And I can assure you, if any other country tried this, even if Mexico or Canada tried this, FIFA probably wouldn't have allowed it.
Yeah.
But beyond this also, it sets such a dangerous precedent for this
I also
game
don't think
going
it's a
forward.
big deal
I mean,
anymore,
we saw
low-key.
this just hours later when England tried to waive Jarrell Kwanzaa's red card. But I think the crazy thing about this is that all of this could have been avoided had FIFA just allowed teams to appeal suspensions. It was that simple. Anyways, now with our team back at full strength again, it was time to play Belgium. We lost.
I just want to be with you because I love you.
Don't bullshit me. Don't you fucking bullshit me.
We were playing at home in the most ideal stadium, literally built for fan atmospheres to
Bro,
be
that was such a
monstrous.
bad
We
game. I
had
watched the whole thing.
government
Holy.
and FIFA on our side committing corruption so that we would have our star
Holy.
striker available. And not only did we lose to Belgium, we were fucking humiliated by a washed Belgian side. Christian Pulisic lost the ball 11 times in just 45 minutes. Were you just depressed that Folarin Balogun and Harry Kane were getting more attention than you? You fucking pussy! All this American
Wow,
media
okay.
hype. Everyone's so excited to see Pulisic return. Oh, these opponents won't be ready for when Pulisic comes back on the pitch. And for what? This isn't just one game, by the way. Maga Garnacho has been a disappointment for the US for years. He's not even a shadow of Brian McBride, let alone Clint Dempsey. Am I shocked though? Of course not. This is the same motherfucker who called this World Cup just another big tournament. One of the biggest tournaments in this country's history, by the way. This is the same motherfucker who took a break last year during the last possible tournament for the US to prepare for the World Cup. And instead of addressing the critics, he hid behind his dad in a shitty Paramount Plus documentary. Oh, he's got injury problems.
I don't know
He's
anything
saving
about that, to be
himself for
honest.
the World Cup. Well, I'm still fucking waiting.
You were in a lot of pain, had to be subbed off. What were you dealing with, fighting through?
Yeah, I mean, I just twisted my ankle and just sprained my ankle. I mean, it's just frustrating to end like that, of course. But now I time to rest.
Honestly,
so
I have no
it'll be okay.
clue
I was
who
once
this guy
the
even is, to be
biggest
honest.
fan of this guy. I bought his jersey in the 2016-17 season. On Twitter, I was basically trying to get his attention every single day. I made a whole FIFA 17 edit about this guy. And when I missed the opportunity to see him in Charlotte during the International Champions Cup, and I saw videos of other kids in my moments, in my dreams, I was devastated. But I fucking hate his guts now. And he's really just been
Bro's
testing
mad.
my patience throughout the last few years. But I'm done. I no longer want to see this
Brother
fucker play
is
for the US
mad.
ever again. This
Holy.
motherfucker is more bitch-made than Tab Ramos' son. Not once did you ever have to fight for anything to be a part of this national team. And yet somehow you've been painted more as the savior than anyone ever was. I hope your ex is getting sent to fucking Pound Town by someone else and enjoying every single second of it. Go dance about that, you piece of shit. I really thought it'd be like,
Oh my god.
like, even with everything happening, all the chaos, all the
Who's your favorite
unorganized
player?
bullshit that
I honestly don't have one.
I've had
Yeah, I
to witness
don't
throughout the
really
last
have
few
one.
years. I just thought that once we put on that shirt during a World Cup game, everything would change. Even if it was just a Paraguayan side that hadn't really gotten up to gear yet, or Australia. I wanted to believe that there was truly something special here. But nope, even with the whole crowd of Americans in the stands, our players are still soft, overrated, overpaid disgraces to this country. I never want to hear this generation be referred to as golden ever again. This is the silver generation. A generation of fucking silver spoons who never had to fight a day in their lives to prove worthy for this badge. The generation before had half the ability, half the quality, and yet they put up a better fight against an up-and-coming Belgium side than this team against
That
a
is true,
washed
actually.
Belgian side. No
I
one
can agree on
bothered to
that.
communicate. No one bothered to even try something new. Everyone just laid down and died. I mean this as someone who has forced himself to watch
Wait,
that game.
when did he make this video? Did he make this video like a day after the... When was the actual... Hold on. July 6th. So that game was July 6th. He made this video on July 9th. I know bro was mad. Bro made this video like a few days after they lost.
Twice now? This was a worse performance. This was a more soulless performance than the shit I saw against Trinidad in 2017. And then you remember, we had a worse performance than the other hosts. Our government literally committed corruption so we could have our best player on the pitch, and we put up less of a fight than Canada. I waited 4 years
Canada
for this.
did pretty good, actually.
4 years for this. 4 years just to confirm what I already knew from the very beginning, that nothing has changed. The players should be ashamed of themselves. I don't care what they think about the media anymore. They deserve every single bit of it. But at the same time, this federation needs to be disbanded completely. You had the opportunity to make changes all the way back in 2022. But instead, you chose to fumble away 2 whole years and the biggest test before the World Cup. What a waste. What a shit show. What an embarrassment to this country. I mean this wholeheartedly, by the way, because now that we've seen this generation fail to do it, we are never making it to a quarterfinal until this federation burns to the ground.
Honestly,
I'm being dead serious because
I can actually believe that we would never get into a quarterfinal. For soccer, it's like football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. I feel like we're kind of cooked.
Because I
like
am
the US. I'm from
certain
Germany, so
that the federation right now
Germans were kind of going crazy the past few World
performance.
Cups, but
Not
we lost against Paraguay.
because of the actual performance, simply because they made money out of it. That's all that matters to them. Also, special thanks to the administration. Because of you, Belgium had a fire lit under their asses and learned how to actually play football again. 4 more years! Until the next damn tournament! But you know, a part of me is glad it's over, because now I don't have to hear the fucking media anymore. The media that had not a single clue what the fuck it was talking about in the first place. We had just come off beating Paraguay and Australia, and Zlatan in the booth is talking about how the US could actually win the World Cup. After
No.
Australia and Paraguay. By all means, let the fans be delusional. I'm fine with that. But this is the most disingenuous bullshit ever. You are Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You don't believe that shit for a second. Speaking of not being genuine, I'm also really glad that I'm not gonna have to see any of those engagement farming brainlets on my feed anymore. All these leeches knew exactly what they were doing. Always riling up people who don't follow the sport much because
what
they
the
know
hell
it's
am I
easy to do
watching?
so. And then they purposely paint the average fan as arrogant for the entire rest of the world so they can get that engagement as well. Oh, the Europeans are scared of us. They don't want us playing our best players. Such a bunch of fucking pathetic LARPers. Get the fuck out of my sport, man. Like, at least give me something better than what a 3rd grader could come up with. But then again, you know, their audience is basically just frat bros that go to business school. Also, USMNT only. You do not get to post this on Instagram after all of this shit you tweeted. Fuck you, and also fuck Men in Blazers. Sorry, I forgot to mention this in the first recording,
Jesus
but
Christ.
I do feel bad for Folarin Balogun here. I mean, he was put into such a shitty situation, and unfortunately, it's kind of soiled his World Cup performances. Like, no one's gonna remember any of his contributions anymore, and that's just kind of unfortunate, because I feel like he was one of the only players who actually showed heart during this tournament. I just wanted to point that out, because I don't think he deserves any of the hate in this situation
It does
whatsoever.
feel like that the US doesn't really care about like the World Cup as much as like other teams. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like they could have done a lot better, you know?
All right.
I feel like.
Let me at least end this video on a positive. None of which has anything to do with the national team. The World Cup most definitely grew the sport in this country, just not in the way the US Soccer Federation or MLS expected, which is actually fantastic, by the way. Fuck these corporations. Everywhere you are right now, you can feel that World Cup fever. It's so infectious. In a time when it feels so hard
it's
to have
already done
community in
now,
the States,
but yeah.
so many people have been going to all these different watch parties and have continued to follow the tournament to experience more of that joy community brings. This summer I've been to a Japanese izakaya and a Senegalese church with someone who hasn't watched the World Cup since 2014. What made
That's
them fall back in love
crazy.
with this tournament was the collective passion it brings. I don't know if they'll necessarily follow any club football. I mean, it's just very different from international football, but I'm very excited to tell them about things like the Asian Cup and other tournaments after that. But that's the thing, there's so many instances of this, and whether a fan returns for the club season or not, more people are appreciating this sport for what it really is. Something that brings us all together. Did the Federation fumble a great opportunity? Absolutely. But people from like the 1940s would have seen that coming. It sucks, but also at the same time, I don't love this sport because of just the US. So however anyone finds their love in this sport, that alone makes me happy. Also, apologies to Belgium. I was hating a little too much. I was blinded by rage that I had
good.
While watching your games in Group G. Believe me, okay, that drunk tweet, that does not reflect me, okay? I have no qualms with Belgian people. I love Stromae. I love Angel. I love Mayo on fraud. I still think you guys are kind of frauds, but can I really speak after we just got pummeled 4-1?
I mean, bro,
no,
honestly,
but
where's the clip? You can't really say anything if this happens, bro. Where is it? You can't really say anything if this happens, like that ass.
And not only did we lose to
how does this even happen? Like, how do you...
And not only did we lose...
How do you do that? How do you like, what? How do you even... I don't understand. Did he get hit by this guy?
Did we lose to Belgium?
No, like, bro's trying to shoot the ball and just
not only did we lose
shoots the grass instead. Now, shout out to Maxwell. I think that's how you say it, or Macwell. Bro said today we feel Belgian. It's just easier to declare yourselves the world champions when you are the only nation competing like you do in the Super Bowl. Ooh, hold on now. He was kind of cooking right there. Now, that was a crazy video. Bro was like so mad and just spazzed out on the video, bro. The US does not care because people also don't care about the sport. I mean, you got a point. Like, but still, you know, like at least try a little bit more, I guess, because I can definitely tell that it did not try like 100%. And I don't want to like shit talk them and be like, yo, you guys didn't try enough. Like, I'm sure they've tried, but I'm also sure that like they could have done a lot better. Also, I'm gonna save this video right here too.